こんにちは。
はい、こんにちは。アパート、探してるんですか？
あ、そうですか。座ってください。お名前伺いしてもよろしいですか？
はい、私は、アレックスです。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。私、カイと申します。はじめまして。
はじめまして。
賃貸ですか？
はい、賃貸です。
そうですか。じゃあ、場所はどこら辺で探してるんですか？
駅前、らへんで、探してるんです。
そうですか。じゃあ、間取りはどうされますか？
2LDK で探します。
そうです
い
か。
くらですか？
そうですね。2LDK ですと8万円から10万円ぐらいですね。ご予算いくらで考えていらっしゃいますか？
なるほど、なるほど。えっと、会社が家賃払ってくれます。なので、予算、まだわからないです。あ、
そうです
えっ
か。
と、内覧したいです。
あ、もちろん。今週どうですか？
はい、大丈夫ですよ。
素晴らしい。じゃあ、午前か午後どちらがいいですか？
午前の方が好きです。お願いします。
はい、わかりました。じゃあ、何時がいいですか？
10時、大丈夫ですか？
はい、10時大丈夫ですよ。かしこまりました。では、よろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございます。
Feel like learning Japanese is too damn hard for you? Stop slaving away at grammar, words, and spelling. Now there's a better way to learn how to speak Japanese like a normal guy. Welcome to Terumi's podcast. Let's learn Japanese in just 2 months with Terumi's learning method.
First of all, Alex, you are second time joining this YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Alex. And also, おめでとうございます. Congratulations on your this completion of level two. How do you feel like after level two?
I feel really good. Just so much more comfortable walking around Japan. I've lived here for about a year now, and it's just good. I love it. I love it.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing. So, this 2024, a lot of people actually want to move to Japan from the United States or even other countries because it's Japanese yen is much cheaper than the life in the States. And it's, of course, the Japan is one of the most safest, country. So the people actually look for a cheaper life and the safest country, and also the culture unique. People very polite, people kind, and the biggest problem will be definitely the language. There's no English too much in Japan. And then I would like to know you more, the because it's I would like to introduce more to the people who want to move to Japan or even just arrived in Japan and they don't know what to do in Japan. So Alex, how long have you been living currently?
So I got here around October of 2022. So that puts me at
Mm.
about 14 to 18 months living here.
Wow, still very new to Japan. Wow,
It feels
amazing.
like it.
And which state are you from? What is your
So I'm,
background?
so I'm originally from Massachusetts, Boston area specifically. My
Mm-hmm.
accent really doesn't come out too much, but yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, it's great. Like just the quality of, I know living in a city back home, it was amazing. I loved it. But living in a city here, the air quality is just, it's night and day. The air quality is amazing out here.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And then the 18 months in total, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, still actually very new to Japan. And then this actually 18 months, how's your progress? Like even the lifestyle compared to 18 months ago, the day you just arrived in Japan, how do you see your progress? Like even the personal life or even the work and then like your even the language, what do you think?
Uh, I'm lucky I still work, well, lucky and unlucky, right? I still work with Americans. I really haven't got no experience a lot of Japanese work culture, but I mean, the lifestyle is totally different now. Getting used to just doing your local daily stuff, shopping in Japan, it's great for food and groceries. Everything's always so fresh. Uh, the train system is incredible. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Day one it was incredibly confusing. Could barely take one train back and forth and
Mm-hmm.
get myself home. But I mean, now if you know how to use it, it's just so easy and it makes so much sense and so much safer.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And then, the day you arrived in Japan, you or felt like you don't know what to do, even the train and everything. And then, how do you felt this time? Like it was kind of more exciting for you to learn something new, or like kind of get nervous of being in Japan, the new life in Japan. How was it this time?
So this is the first time I've ever been out of the United States for a long period of time, but
Mm,
it's been it's been so great, especially with the stark cultural differences. You think it would be harder, but everybody's so kind, everybody's so friendly. Like I'd go shopping and I would go to the wrong checkout line, and I had employee like just physically walk me to where I needed to go. Just everybody's so
mm,
friendly.
mm-hmm. That's good. And then which actually location are you living currently in Japan?
So I'm about an hour away from Shinjuku. I'm in Sagamihara, so I'm in the Kanagawa prefecture.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's in the very metropolitan city. I mean, it's very big city, right? Like, I mean, just 1 hour from Shinjuku. So, and the Sagamihara is also, it's a kind of big city.
Definitely, yeah, it definitely
Mm-hmm.
is. But it's
Amazing.
still like it's still it's almost like small town plus big city at the same time, if that makes sense. It's
Mm,
not overwhelming like you'd think it
mm,
would be overwhelming.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Amazing. And then why did you move to Japan? How did you decide?
Well, it was always a bucket list thing. I always figured if I was gonna come to Japan, I'd do a 2 week vacation or something at the longest. I got really lucky. I got a really lucky work opportunity. So I'm gonna live
Mm-hmm,
here for about 3 years total ish. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it's always been a dream of mine to go learn about Japan and be in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So it's still new to Japan. It's 18 months. Basically, like, what are you doing in Japan, even the personal life and also the work-wise? Like, how do you stay in Japan?
So I've got a small apartment right now. It's
Mm,
about 700 square feet. I really don't know how to transfer that in the metric system yet.
mm,
Um, Most of the time I work in an office job. I work about 30 minutes away from here by driving, so I get to
mm-hmm,
really experience Japanese traffic. Not a bad
mm-hmm,
thing.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um, Weekends I'm just you know, uh, I really haven't gotten a chance to join any like local clubs or anything like that yet, but I love to go out and travel. I'm going to Osaka in a few weeks.
mm-hmm.
Um, Yakajima was another recent one. Just really trying to explore, do what the locals do is I guess the goal.
Amazing. What is the recent like most favorite activity in Japan that you couldn't find it in Japan in the States so much?
Oh, that's a hard one. Let me see. I was good hiking in the States.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds kind of trivial when I say it this way, but I think
Mm,
just the nightlife culture of just going to a local bar or something like that, like
mm.
going to an izakaya and just having a light drink, a light snack, walking around. You just make a whole night out of it. It's
Nice.
uh
Amazing. The nightlife is a big deal in Tokyo. I mean, it's 24/7. It's a active city in Japan. I mean, in Tokyo. You never get bored to really, in Tokyo, especially. And so like you're from Boston, right? I think it's a big city. I've never been to, but it's a nightlife in Boston, nightlife in Tokyo, even the like a bar and even maybe I don't know cinema like open cinema or something like what is gonna be the differences for you like nightlife in Boston versus Tokyo?
that's a good question. So a lot of
Mm,
times I do love Boston, right? And a lot of Boston's either a walking town or it's somewhere you'll grab an Uber or a taxi or something. Um, you're going to a couple different locations.
mm,
Tokyo, it's so easy to be very relaxed. You can walk around and you just feel safe. Like you can walk around with a group of friends or all of my headphones in or something, and I feel totally safe. I know I can get home pretty easily, even though I live an
mm,
hour away from Tokyo.
Mm.
Uh, I guess it's almost like a safety net, and just everybody's
Mm.
friendly. Like the bars are smaller, so everybody's just very. It's just friendly, just
Mm-hmm.
relaxed.
Amazing. So I've never been to Boston, but you kind of need to drive everywhere to just discover the even the nightlife.
Yeah, it's weird. Boston's a smaller. It's a smaller city, but it's still spread out. There's still different.
Mm.
No matter where you go, there's a different kind of culture, different kind of vibe.
Mm. I see, I see. And then you know, the if woman like me walking alone in Boston is can be sometimes like dangerous. You know, compared to
Uh,
in Tokyo, like I was living in Japan and Tokyo many years, never really felt very dangerous. Like I mean, 3 a.m. I could walk, and you know, even the and at night, midnight to even the whole night is very safe in Tokyo. I was walking. So, and you said it's some safety. So, do you see the differences?
a little bit of a difference. It's not. I mean, most of the time when you're walking through Boston, it's a very safe city.
Mm,
But later at night, there is definitely that kind of tonal shift, depending on what
mm,
part of Boston you're in.
I see, I see. And so, in nightlife in Tokyo, like, what did you discover? Like, lots of izakaya, and then even karaoke and movies, you know, entertainment like game center to, you know, there's tons of choices. So, what did you discover? Even like a anime city, like a manga entertainment, you know, manga cafe, you know, there are so many things. So, what did you discover?
Well, I mean, recently I'll tie a few of those together. I just took a walk just to go get some exercise. On a sunnier day to today. I ended
Mm.
up in Machida, so like a mile or two away. I went to a game station, which are incredibly addictive. They something you think, oh, this will be fun, this will be easy. All of my money later, and
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go to walk away. I'll run into an old coworker, and then we'll just walk around aimlessly until we find a ramen shop we like. And it's very easy because it's like you settle yourself up. You have the vending machine where you put the money in, you just press the ticket, and you get the ticket.
Mm.
So it's very much like, oh, this transaction's done. We're just enjoying our time, and we can get
Mm.
up and leave whenever we want, and
Mm-hmm.
then just take the train back. It's
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Yeah, it's everything is convenient and you can be done very quickly, you know, because it's very everything is so close and you can find everything, right?
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
exactly. It's so nice, and everybody's friendly while you're doing it. Like you're walking around a big. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
food is so good too. The food is delicious.
Amazing. The what is your most favorite food, Alex,
Ah,
so far?
I guess I guess it depends on where I go. If I go
Mm.
to Osaka, I'm never gonna not have takoyaki, right? Like I love
Mm.
takoyaki in Osaka. Uh,
Mm.
Sashimi's amazing out here. Like you wouldn't think there'd be a difference, but there is a difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I go to Hokkaido, it's always the Hokkaido style ramen. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it just kind of depends on where I am.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Amazing. Yeah, so like even the food and then also the lifestyle, it sounds very excellent. You know, you're really having a fun. And then how do you feel about this social interaction? Because it's the, you know, the when you move to Japan, it's one of the biggest deal is a language barrier. So it's difficult sometimes, you know, meet people, make friends, even the talk to random people. It can be difficult. So what do you think about this social life and this 18 months?
Um, yes, the classes I've taken here of Japan Language Factory have been awesome. That's helped me a lot. Uh, but even then, when I still really didn't know a ton of English, if you go to like the popular areas in Tokyo or something like that, so people, it's odd's not the right word. It's a cultural difference. A lot of like locals are willing to they're willing to try in English, which a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people aren't. A lot of people back home would not do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people like, oh, where are you from? Like, it's the best. That's all the English they know, but they're willing to not only go if that makes sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Amazing. So like Alex, you know, this 2024, a lot of people want to move to Japan or they just arrived in Japan and then a lot of actually people struggle with the language. Some people, they just really afraid of going out because they cannot even order something at the restaurant. Even they are afraid of even make a reservation, anything, and they don't make any phone call. Some people actually really kind of depressed in the only at home, and they don't really discover. I'm sure you have seen some, Americans in the military, they don't discover so much because, the language, it's a big deal. You feel like you can't really say anything. And then the people look at you like, oh, hey, what do you want? Like, and you can't answer sometimes. I'm sure you already overcome this basic, the language barrier, but it's, what do you think it's when you arrived in Japan and also this master course, you have this 18 months. It's how do you really make this progress in learning language? Of course, with us, but it's how much you study or you train.
Oh, no, that makes sense. Kind of something I talk with Chihiro a lot is that it's really interesting because Japanese is such a context-based language. But even before I started taking classes, I would do the very much like point and like, is this okay? And everyone kind of got it. But taking the classes here have been incredible. Like I can make a phone call. I could talk to people at the restaurant, ask them for recommendation, what's in the food. Luckily, knock on wood, I don't have any food allergies, but I could see why people would be nervous about ordering food if they can't figure out what's in it. It's been good. It's been really good. It's
Amazing.
People are very helpful with it too.
Amazing. And then, compared to the other people who is not actually learning Japanese, even they're living in Japan, because maybe they're just afraid of learning, they're using Google Translate all the time, they're not really learning, they just only rely on the Google Translate. So for you, you really can speak right now, even ordering food, no problem, make phone call. So what do you think as American living in Japan, using only Google Translate, like 100% rely on translation apps, do you talk by yourself? What do you think? What's going to be the huge difference for you?
There's definitely, yeah, no, being able to just speak normally with somebody, it makes the difference because translation, as much as like translation apps help, it takes a lot more time, and then sometimes you might misinterpret the kanji or something might not just type or spell out the way you want it to spell out. It's so much easier to be able to like have that conversation with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I just came back from a work trip, and I went out to dinner with my friends, and I kind of grabbed my out and I was in kore, just kind of
Mm.
quick ordering, just like, oh, can we have some highball, like just a drink or something like that. And they were looking at me and like, thank God you're back. This is so much worse. Like, all right, yeah, it's good to be. Hey, thanks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Yeah, it's just everything is so easy, right? You just talk like normal guy rather than just
Yeah.
every time you have to type the things on the Google Translate.
Okay. Sorry, one second. So bad.
Yeah, understand. How do you give the advice? Maybe what do you think? Like why they don't learn? Like why they afraid of learning? Like what do you think? Like because a lot of people actually can't decide to learn some point. They just keep learning with only Google Translate, and then it's still difficult to learn. Even some people live in Japan for 5, 6 years. So what do you think? Like, how do you give advice to them?
Hmm. So a lot of it's just being in the moment is, as I guess the only thing I would say. Just able to listen to somebody, pick out, even if you don't pick out everything that they say, context clues help a ton. The patterns for how like verbs and adjectives come out, it to a part of it, it's similar. It's not the same, but it's similar to English. It's enough to like, oh, like this, deshita, stuff like that. There's enough to kind of piece together enough to have a conversation.
Hmm.
It's I don't know. I think a lot of people just they either don't think they'll be here long enough,
Hmm.
or they just get overwhelmed quickly. I really don't know. I love the language personally.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very like interesting. Just living at the moment, you know, when you hear, you want to understand right away, right? Like this moment, not like after 5 minutes searching. And what was it? Like the conversation already gone every
That's so
single
true.
time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like something coming, and then oh wait a second, and 5 minutes searching, and then you know everybody actually not interested in to talk with you anymore, right? Like after 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I've had friends who one friend's learning English and I'm learning Japanese, and it gets to the point. It's kind of fun seeing like how much closer we can get in the
Mm,
conversation before we have to Google it. It's
mm.
almost like we break a streak. We're like, ah, darn, we gotta Google that one. We missed it.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. Yeah, definitely. I'm also living in different country in Europe, and then that was one of the biggest frustration. Like I can't understand the moment, and I need to go back home, open a textbook. What was that? And then like it's so distracted, with the textbook, and it's so overwhelming. It's okay, I don't understand. And every single time when I go out, I just don't understand. And then going back after 1 hour, you already maybe demotivated to even open a textbook or search it. So I think it's the moment you really understand, it's really fun. I mean, it's very natural, right?
Yeah, it completely makes a difference.
Mm. So Alex, it's still new to Japan, and what is your future plan? Like, you want to go back to Boston, or even you're open to stay in Japan longer, or discover different country, or what do you think? Like, what is going to be the future plan? And especially today, you did amazing conversation with me, real estate conversation. So, what is going to be the future plan, near future to long term?
Uh, Honestly, uh, touching on it's really up to work.
Mm,
Uh, so I have next year around September, October, fall next year. I'm scheduled to move again.
mm-hmm,
Uh, so I'm really still in flux and figuring out what that looks like. I would love to stay in Japan personally.
mm.
Uh, talking through it, I think eventually I would love to come back and maybe a little later on in life, maybe be able to buy some property if I could.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's either looking like going back to the States or trying to get to a different country.
Mm-hmm. I see, I
Hopefully a
see.
country that speaks Japanese. That's
Yeah,
how.
yeah, exactly. And Alex, we met online, and then Chihiro too, of course. And this internet is a really game changer. If even English and Japanese and the other language, you can still meet a lot of people online. You can keep it up your friendship online. And then also some people like me start working online with a different country. So there are actually so much opportunity if you already know a lot of languages, and then especially Japan, in the long term, you can even buy a house or even work for Japanese people online or even coming to Japan. Alex, you're not old person. How old are you, Alex?
27. I'll be 28 in a month.
27, still really young, I'm almost 11 years older. So I'm
Couldn't believe
38.
it.
So so you have so many choices. So that's why even work online or even coming back to Japan or even retirement life in Japan, it's going to be very big long-term plan. But it's, yeah, you can definitely invest yourself, learning a lot of things, take opportunity to really even learn, and then you can take all advantage.
Oh, that would be yeah, that would be nice. That would be awesome one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing, amazing. So like you actually searching the house, and then you actually gonna visit real estate in Japan? How do you actually plan?
Hopefully. So I still have another year, but it's looking like I might be able to have the opportunity to live away from where I'm living right now. So
Mm.
I might be talking to a real estate agent over the next few months.
Amazing. Like a zero start, learning, zero like a level of Japanese, 18 months, and now actually visiting real estate. How do you feel? This so quick, this progress. Some people even can't order the food for 1-2 years. Only Google Translate.
Oh wow. Honestly, I love it. I mean, I feel really really confident being out there. I know I still have a lot to learn. But being able to just get out there and figure it out, even if I'm wrong at first,
Hmm.
it's good because you still get to you learn, and 9 times out of 10, the message still gets across anyway. So
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And especially, in Japan Language Factory, we have mission to help the world to make bilingual as quickly as possible. So that's why we have this unique method without using too much textbook, without using too much flashcard, without actually learning too many kanji writing or something. It's not traditional learning method. So we don't actually against this traditional learning method at all. But it's, if anyone want to save the time and they want to speak as quickly as possible, we actually want to help this learning structure with a lot of people who want to be able to speak the different languages. So what do you think overall this traditional learning language, textbook based, flashcard based, grammar learning, alphabet, writing basis, versus like we don't use all those material. It's a lot of actually conversation flow training. How was it that those differences?
I mean, and I'm never gonna say anything negative about the traditional method, right? But the method that you guys use, it's incredible. I love it. Because like when you get that textbook, you really don't get into like the flow of what a conversation should look like. I remember looking at like the Romanji for so many words and be like, Aramasu? Sue? I don't know. Like it's just like you can't pronounce it. It's the pronunciation, being able to be in real time. Like even when somebody's speaking faster than the normal pace that I'm ready for, I can still kind of pick up you get the pattern, you get the flow, and you're like, oh, okay, this is a question. Oh, okay, I picked out this word. It's real. It's real practice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just the audios, the comprehension, it kind of forces you to be, well, kind of what we were talking about in the moment. You get to really learn. It's definitely, I feel like I'm learning way quicker the way that you're teaching.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. It's a traditional learning method. It's always great for like writing, reading, if somebody want to be able to learn. But it's like like maybe short term live in Japan, or you want to experience the moment. Tomorrow you're gonna actually visit again. You're gonna meet other people, tomorrow, and then this time you wanna speak, right? So that's why this is the kind of fastest, and we actually focus on the communication. So you are already really achieving so many, topics like a restaurant conversation, making reservation, even now it's a real estate, even making friends, you did a lot of things already, which is your effort, and you are really work on this journey. So I really, really, appreciate your being amazing student.
Thank you so much. I mean, I wouldn't be as good of a student if it wasn't for the system that you have. So I appreciate you guys.
Amazing. And especially you moving forward to this level 3. So level 3, our master course, we put it a lot of different topics, even the more deeper conversation, that's our next level. So the level 1 is more first experience of like conversation flow, how you can really feel the flow in the conversation, natural communication. Level 2 was like a more independency. Even you can learn transportation, hospital visiting, or emergency call, like you're doing a real estate agent conversation like this. It's a lot of different topics to be more independent in Japan. And level 3 is actually like more even the relationship conversation, family conversation, and even like even if somebody want to make a child, also children conversation, parenting conversation, to business networking conversation. So what actually topics are you interested in so far?
Um, well, I'm single right now, so that's definitely something to look forward to. But honestly, business networking, I'm always looking for, like, your net worth is your network, right? Being able to talk to people on that level of a conversation, that's something I'm really looking forward to.
Amazing. Yeah. So your progress never stops. So please actually, yes, learn more and also make progress with us. And then Yeah, why not? Like, because you live in Japan, you don't know when it's gonna happen, like the amazing encounter, like a new friends, new business opportunity. It's you don't know the future, so that's why you can be ready to take that opportunity.
Oh, you have to be ready. Definitely. Oh, ganbarimasu.
はい、頑張りましょう。
練習です。
Yeah. So lastly, please give us one advice of, being fluent in the language, because this is our mission to make the people to start speaking a new language as quickly as possible. So can you give us a tips? Like, if anyone want to learn Japanese as soon as possible, what we should do today?
I would honestly say get exposure. I mean, whenever I can, I walk around, even if it's just going to a shop. Um, Whenever I'm driving, I have Japanese people give me a hard time about it, but I put on Japanese radio, even if I don't understand everything going on. Um, yeah, just whatever you can do. I would say get exposure and listen.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Don't be just afraid of speaking and just only rely on Google Translate and then finally not speaking anything, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, how many times I've said futatsu and I meant to say nikai or something like that. Like, just say it. You'll either learn or you'll get it right. One of the two. Like,
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Yeah, don't be afraid of making mistake. Speak Japanese something today and then expose, your anything that you know and then make progress step by step every day.
that's all you can
Amazing.
do.
Right. So Alex, thank you so much. ありがとうございます。
Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. This was really fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, so see you soon in the level 3 then, after level 3.
Oh, I'm excited. 楽しんでます.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Are you expat? Live in Japan? You started living in Japan, you're super excited to communicate with locals. You can enjoy traveling, meeting people. And now you start using this textbook and you feel like, wow, that's so many. Elementary school textbook, another elementary school textbook, and how many hours should you study? Let's think one more time. In order to communicate like a normal guy, you can do everything in the basic everyday life. Should you finish all those textbooks? Otherwise, you won't understand what they're talking. You cannot express yourself, anything. First of all, there are always two ways to learn languages. One is documentational language, the other one is conversational language. It's like, once upon a time, grandmother and grandfather are living somewhere. Or, hey, what's up? How's it going? Which is conversational. What is the most effective way to learn how to speak Japanese? Textbooks can't talk to you, so you cannot improve your listening skill and pronunciation, how to communicate. So why Japanese children can speak Japanese so quickly? Because they are learning conversational Japanese. The good news is, in Japan Language Factory, we have a specific learning structure to improve your conversational Japanese. So you can join the conversation, you can understand what they're talking, you can respond quickly, and express what you are thinking. If you want to be able to speak Japanese as soon as possible, join our free consultation to figure out what is the fastest way to start speaking Japanese.